Alright, so I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm like wondering, trying to figure out why it's doing what it's doing. I mean, I'm obviously still going to go through all my bearings and everything on the airframe and stuff, but I kind of got thinking, I'm like, well, it's not doing it when it's on the bench, you know, just moving the cyclic sticks and stuff around, you know, everything's fine, you know, and even on the tail, you know, even on the tail, you know, left, right, you know, everything's fine. So I'm like, well, it's only doing it when it spools up. So I took my main blades off and my tail blades off. I don't like doing this, you know, I don't believe in spooling up a helicopter on the bench, but obviously it just really seems like I have no choice here in doing this. So I spooled it up and everything was fine, and I mean, mind you, I have not touched anything. Now see, watch this. Usually it's freaking out by now. It's not freaking out at all. Left, right, forward, back, and my tail too. Left, right, everything's working fine, like it should. So, I mean, obviously you've seen everything was working fine. I was getting cyclic movement every time I moved the sticks. So now I'm going to unplug the motor. Unplug my motor. Plug my Vbar in. Alright. Go to my log. That log. Get the last 100 entries, and look at that. I mean, the log looks good. Move it up. Get this closer, trying to get it better look at this. I mean, I get a raised vibration, but I'm assuming the raised vibration, that's from actually like having no main blades on it, no load. But that's, you know, 0, then 6, 16, 19, 28. That's actually this log right here that I just did, and you can see that the log is perfect on it. I don't get this. Now if I put my main blades and tail blades on it, and I go out and I spool it up, it just flat out freaks out on me. So I don't know, with the main blades being on it, maybe I have a bearing. I have an aftermarket bearing block in it. It's a one-piece bearing block that's in here for the top and bottom, but I have my original bearing blocks here that have perfect bearings in them. These bearings are perfect. They're not notchy at all. Not one bit notchy. So I'm gonna pull my main shaft here in a little bit and check my bearings and see what happens. But obviously, you know, I don't think anything's wrong with the unit. I don't think anything's wrong with my sensor. I'm starting to believe it's, you know, vibration. I mean, if it wasn't vibration, the log wouldn't show up like that. So I'm gonna close that. Oh, I ain't gonna start it over again. I'm too far into the video. I was gonna spool it up again, but when I spooled it up the first time, I got the exact same log. You know, it just had like a small raised vibration. That was it. But like I said, that could be because I don't have a load on it, no main blades. no tail blades, spooling it up. Well, obviously I'm not gonna do that in the house, so I don't know. Guess I'm just gonna pull the main shaft and take the bearing blocks out and stick these ones in there. See what happens. But the last time I've had it out, the main shaft, when I changed the pinion and everything, because I went from a 16 tooth to a 17 tooth and ran 2500, and I didn't like the flight time, so I went back down. But when I went back down, I put the 16 tooth back in it and ran a head speed at 2300 and reset my Castle ESC and everything. But I checked the bearings when I had it out and it was fine. And it's just odd because when I put now that I remember, when I put the pinion, when I pinion it back down to the 16 tooth, that's when I went out the next day and went to spool up, and that's when it freaked out on me. So, oh, and for the guy saying that my tail rudder is probably reversed, my tail rudder is not reversed. That's cyclic, or to the left, rudder to the right, left, right. You know, my tail and everything, direction and everything's perfect on it. It's nothing with that. This is just stressful. I've never had to track something down with flybarless, so I'm assuming, I'm just gonna guess and say it has to be you know, vibration related, because I mean, I could touch all my wires and everything. I mean, actually enough to move the helicopter. I could almost pick the helicopter up by the wires. I mean, all my wires and everything on here, they're tight, they're fine. So I'll pull the main shaft and see what happens, see what I find in there. But I appreciate all the help, guys, I really do. Thanks.